name is Amanuel, and um, my groups are Nick, Bereket, and Ihsan, and we'll be presenting natural resources and coal. Let's start by most used resources. With 7 billion people on the planet, theoretically from today, there will be an inevitable increase in the demand of the world's natural resources. Here are the four natural resources that are severe pressure from current rate of consumption: water, oil, natural resources, and coal. Now we'll be talking about water. Fresh water only makes up about only like 2.5 is like really little, um, which is about 35 million cubic feet. But considering 70% of the fresh water is in the form of ice and permanent snow cover, and that will only have access to 200,000 kilowatt volume of water overall. Next, I'll be talking about oil. The fear of reaching peak oil countries to hand the oil industry. The BP stationary review of the World Energy June measured total global oil at 188.8 million tons from proved oil resources at the end of 2010. This is only enough to oil for the next 46.2 years. Should global production remain at the same rate? I don't know, maybe. Next, I'll be talking about coal. Coal has the largest reserves left of all the fossil fuels, but as China and other developed countries continue to increase their appetite for coal, demand could finally outstrip supply. As it is, we have enough coal to meet 188 years of global production. Types of energy. Both renewable and renewable resources. Renewable energies comes from resources with unlimited supply. This includes energy from water, wind, and sun, and biomass. In the United States, only 10% of energy comes from renewable energy, mostly hydroelectric energy. Non-renewable sources makes up 85% of worldwide energy usage from sources that eventually will deplete, such as oil, natural gas, and coal. This is a pie chart showing most used resources and a little history about global energy. Is in the last 50 years, the global energy demand has stripped due to the number of development countries and innovation in technology. It is to project triple again over the next 30 years. By the year of 2010, Germany plans to meet 10% of their total energy and 20% of its electric usage with renewable resources. Some countries are making improvement in this field. Coal usage is still a huge problem.
All right, I'm Nick. Now, what is coal? Coal is a black, readily combustible rock that usually forms from peat. It is non-renewable and forms over millions of years. There's a lot of coal in America, and particularly in Pennsylvania, where it's an important industry. As you can see from this map, we have substantial coal deposits here in America, especially along the Appalachian Mountains. We also have a lot of coal in China, Russia, and Canada as well. Here's where there's coal in America. As you can see, we've got a lot here in western Pennsylvania running along the Appalachians. Most of our coal in the country is bituminous coal, lower quality coal, because we've already exploited most of the higher quality anthracite coal. However, we still do have a lot of it left. Alright, coalification is the technical term for the process in which peat turns to coal. You start off with peat, a waterlogged plant material that will actually burn itself if it's dry. Peat has to be buried then and exposed to heat and pressure over millions of years. This forces water and other elements out and makes it more carbon and gives it a higher energy yield. It'll go from peat to lignite to subbituminous, bituminous, anthracite, and then eventually graphite. Alright, the more time that passes, the higher the grade in coal, the harder, darker, and shinier it becomes, the more carbon is left, and the more energy you get from burning it. Lignite is immature coal. It's soft and light brown, it will burn, but it does not have a very high energy yield. Then it'll become subbituminous. It's closer to what we'd recognize as coal, but this is low quality coal with low energy yields. Eventually it'll become bituminous, which is hard and dark. You have a good energy yield. It's not shiny, but it is good coal. Premium coal is anthracite. It's fully mature, it's hard and shiny, and it has high energy yields. And if the coal is left alone long enough, it'll become pure carbon, graphite, because all the other elements in the water will have been forced out. Alright, methods of extraction. You see a few here. The method of extraction largely depends on where the coal is. Underground mining is better for the environment, but it tends to be more expensive and dangerous for personnel. A drift mine involves making a horizontal tunnel straight through a hill. Then you have a slope mine where you start diagonally at the base of a hill, then go horizontally into the coal deposit. Shaft mines are the deepest. It's a tunnel drilled straight into the earth to get at the coal. The most common method of underground mining is room and pillar mining, where you dig out large chambers supported by columns. And sometimes companies will actually extract coal from the pillars once they're done mining there to get more from the mine. And it's more profitable, but it's also a very dangerous practice, as this can cause collapse. Surface mining. It's quick, it's cheap, but it's pretty bad for the environment. You have area mines where basically coal is close to the surface and you essentially destroy a whole area to get at it. They're pretty similar to strip mines. You have contour mines where you remove a wedge of coal from a hill. And then mountaintop removal is, like the name implies, you just take off the whole top of a mountain to get at the coal, and you actually deposit the rubble in valleys. The primary use of coal is electricity. It is burned to create steam and turn a turbine, and it's good, cheap electricity. Coke is created when you heat coal in an airless environment, and it's important in iron production because it burns hotter than coal. And coke has some important byproducts, including coal tar, light oils, and ammonia. And coal is also used by several other industries for the purpose of heating.
Hello guys, this is Bereket. Today I would like to talk about the pros and cons of using coal as a fuel source. It doesn't come in. As we see this picture, it has high quantity as coal as available to use as a fuel for composition, for locomotion, and generating electricity. Coal is one of the most plentiful resources in the world. As we see, this coal train produces relatively cheap transportation, cheaper due to the large amount of coal available. As we see this image,
Coal is almost everywhere. It can be found on every continent. It operates in over 70 countries with the biggest reserves in the USA, Russia, China, and India. Even though coals have pros and also it have cons. Coal, burning coal releases toxic gas in the air we breathe, which is may lead to health problems, especially for the people with respiratory problems and people with asthma. Coal burning produces acid rain and releases carbon dioxide, which causes global warming.
Hello, hello everyone. I'm Ihsan, and today I'm going to be talking about clean coal. So what is clean coal technology? Clean coal technology is a term to describe any coal technology that reduces the environment impacts of burning coal as a fuel source. Benefits of clean coal. Clean coal reduces carbon emissions. Clean coal technologies benefit the boiler. To remove accumulus slag, a higher dose of CC88 should be used initially for a period of 45 to 60 days. Economic security. A major benefit of near and midterm technologies is low-cost electricity for all users. Hydrogen turbines. Combustion gas turbines are key components of advanced systems designed for new electric power plants in the United States. With gas turbines, power plants will supply clean, increasingly fuel efficient and relatively low cost energy. Carbon capture utilization and storage research. The Carbon Capture Utilization and Storage R&D program advances safe, cost-effective, and capture and permanent geological storage and or uses of CO2.